Hi, everyone. Linda Israel here. Thank you so much for being here during my live stream. I greatly appreciate your support. I've pre-recorded this so that we can have some of the behind the scenes done while you listen to me for just a moment. I again want to thank you so very much for being here during my live stream. If you could give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that they can come join us. And if you will also give me a comment in the comment section after this video is done, and then definitely speak up in the chat and say hi. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, generally, if you're on a computer, you can go down below and look for the little gear. You can change that and make the speed faster. If you're on a mobile device, look up in the corner, up in this area for 3 little dots, and you can change the speed there as well. Those of you that are here live, do definitely speak up in the chat. I greatly appreciate you being here. Well, those that are here live earn a virtual currency. Junkie Joe should be coming up here in just a moment, and you'll be able to check how many bucks that you have. What are bucks? They're junk bucks. It's just a virtual point system that I have created on my account when we're live so that you can redeem those once you get to 2,000 for a $10 off coupon to my shop. So you can type exclamation point bucks to see how many that you have. And if you have 2,000 and you're ready for a coupon code, type exclamation point award, and my official note takers will take down that information. Now, if you haven't already created an account on my website at lindaisrael.com, please do so, and then send me a message through the contact form letting me know what your YouTube username is. Why? So I'll have your email address and I can email you your coupon code. Also, if you make a donation throughout this live stream, you can be added to my YouTube donators membership that I have on my website. So again, create an account, say, hey, Linda, I donated, and tell me what your username is on YouTube if it's different. That way I can get you added to that. At the end of this stream, I will have journals made, and you will have the opportunity to win one of those journals. Throughout the live stream, we'll have some various raffles, and we also have in-chat games. So be looking out for that in the chat, and I'll kind of speak it up when I get to it. For example, if you type exclamation point raffle, right now you can be in a chance to win 200 junk bucks. So you'll be well on your way to getting 2,000 junk bucks. Normally, Robin is my official note taker. Sometimes Angelica is my official note taker. It kind of depends on what's going on. These are members and administrators of my Facebook group, the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, we'd love to have you come and join us over there. What else? Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. Hey, if you have a question, try to put it in all caps. That way I'll see it. If I don't see it, please don't be offended. The chat sometimes moves fast, and I'm usually looking down trying to create things. So please ask again. But if you know the answer that someone else's question, please go ahead and answer for them. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you have a YouTube channel, you can't post your link, but you can say, I have a YouTube channel, and tell us a little bit about it. Tell us your channel name, something like that. Tell us what you do. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I'm looking at the time. So roughly 5 minutes is when I'll get started. So it should be just a few more seconds. So definitely hang out in the chat, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad that you are here today. So we're kind of doing some different style of mixed media. Mixed media to me, meaning you're going to combine things that may not necessarily go together. Of course, we're in the junk journal world in our group. So we have a tendency to mix things together that the average person probably doesn't. And so I thought I would kind of go through some of my bins. I have a bunch of these little bins like this. This was a mushroom bin. We like mushrooms in this household. So when we buy mushrooms, they come in these little plastic bins, and my husband was always throwing them away. Hey, Tanya, welcome. Hey, your package went out, so you'll be on the way. Pardon me. Anyhow, I have a bunch of these bins, and as you can see, this one is full. I had, I think, 6 or 7 bins on my desk, and I combined them together a little bit. I've been kind of playing with them yesterday, and I thought I would just kind of show you some different ideas of using some bits and pieces to make some elements. I found that when I was sorting, so this is my basket of what I've called ready to go items, that I have an abundance of journal cards that are ready to go, most of which are possibly digital images. I've layered them onto other paper. Some of them are just strictly digital images that I've put in here. I've got a few where, like, here's another one. It's a digital image that I sewn onto another piece. I've got some rubber stamped little file folders, just a variety of things. But what I was lacking was tuck spots and pockets to hold those journal cards. So I thought I would kind of show you some ideas that I have. So those of you that know, I haven't been to Starbucks in almost probably a year since the pandemic. And I used to go like every other day, you know, a couple of times a week. And I have a bunch of these sleeves. So the sleeves normally, I'm trying to find one that I haven't cut up yet. They're stuck in here. So here's one that hasn't been cut up. It's one of the older models. And what I did was I wanted the bottom to be somewhat straight. So I used my big guillotine paper cutter and cut a straight line across the bottom. And then I cut off the edges so there'd be a straight line. And that gave me this piece that has some cool corrugated texture. I went around the edges with some distress inks, and now I want to alter the way this piece looks. So I'm going to grab some paint, and I've got a paintbrush here. I need to clean it out. So I'm just getting a little paintbrush. All right, so I'm just going to, you're welcome. I'm just going to open the lid up. There's a little bit of paint right here in the lid. And I'm just going to swipe across this corrugation. So I'm just kind of using my paintbrush to add a little bit of color. So here's my mixed media, because we're adding paint to corrugated cardboard. And I don't really have to concentrate too much in the center because I really want more on the edges. Okay, and I'll just close this back up. I'm just going to try to do one thingy at a time for y'all today. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. Yay! Started off with 30 junk bucks just in that little boss fight. All right, so I've got this little piece here. So I'm going to set this aside for just a moment. It's going to be wet, and we're going to dry it when we need to here in a moment. And then I save, so I'm going to get this. Just so happens that back when I used a paper sack to make a journal cover, I saved the bottom portion, and it was just perfect that when I cut some of the digital images, when I'm making my stamp, like this is from my stamps, when I make those, I've been cutting the strips and just sticking them into this little bin. And there's some other stuff that could go elsewhere, but I just kind of stuck it all in here. And it's really trash, really, but I'm going to use it a little at a time. So I've got a little strip of paper, and then from my new journal quartet stamp set, I've got one of the words journal. I'm going to ink it up on my black oxide ink, and I'm just going to stamp it on one side on my little strip of paper. Now remember, when you're stamping, you want to stamp straight up and down. You want to hold it into place for a moment so the ink can transfer. You don't want to wobble because you'll end up with marks. And I do recommend that if you've never used these rubber stamp yet, just brand new, don't go directly to your project. Stamp on a scrap of paper and get a feel of how your stamp works. All right, so we've got this little piece. I'll go ahead and trim off. Sometimes it's long enough. Hey, it is long enough. So I've got another one laying here that I'll be able to use. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Distress Ink Walnut Stain and go around the edges. Debbie says, whiskey? Oh my goodness. Hey! Rhonda's here. Oh, I see. You're calling her whiskey. All right, so I went around that. I've gone around this. So I thought, well, I got this little scrap of scrapbook paper. That would look good on there, but it's kind of boring. So let's alter this some more. So I've got my distressed oxide blueprint sketch, and I put labels using my little Dymo, D-Y-M-O, Dymo? I don't know how you say it. Label maker. So I knew this was blue. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of ink and just kind of make a mess. I'm not being perfect. I just want to give it a little bit of color. There's another mixed media, right? But wait, there's more. So now I'm going to take this tiny cosmos flower and we're going to ink it up in the blueprint sketch, and we're just going to stamp it over the top in a couple of places. So that gives us a little pattern in the background of our strip. Isn't that kind of cool? So now I'm going to layer these together. So I'll glue this down. Oh no, you lost all your links. Uh-oh. She upgraded her computer. It's no fun. Hey, Safina. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh-oh, Sally. Why are you making the computer mad? Oh, we got a boss fight going. Wow, that's quick. Usually they don't go that fast. So there's that piece. Now let's go back to our little Starbucks piece. It's a little curved on the top, so I want to rotate this around. And it should be dry now. And I'll just put a little bit of glue down the middle, because guess what, y'all? We're going to go to the sewing lamb. This was a little lamb that Giovanna made. Sewing cam alert. So we're going to go over to the sewing machine. And I'm just putting enough glue to help hold this into place in the center. And we're going to stitch around that. All right. Well, how rude for your computer to buck you out, kick you out. All right, let's go over here to the sewing machine. So I have a lot of people that I will talk to online that are afraid to use their sewing machine for their paper crafts, that it's going to ruin it. No, it isn't, y'all. Sewing machines are a lot sturdier than you think. I use a regular thread, regular needle. In fact, it's the same needle that I would use on fabric most times, unless I'm doing something really heavy duty. Yes, this is going to be corrugated cardboard. It's a couple of layers. My machine is also a heavy duty metal machine. If you have some of those under $100 machines, they have a tendency to have plastic parts. So you're just going to have to test how thick of a substrate that you can sew through. But for the most part, if you can sew on a pair of jean fabric, you can sew on paper. So we're just going to stitch all the way around, and I think I'm going to go ahead and go around both this portion where it says journal, and then I'm going to go around this outside edge. So I like to start in the upper corner so that my threads that are loose will be sticking up. So that just went around that inner portion. And let's go around the second one. Don't be afraid to use your sewing machine. Uh-oh, Tanya, you got too many things going on. You got to pick one. I will tell you to be cautious about using wet glue when you sew. That's why I only put it in the middle. And there it is, sewn all the way around. You like that? Hey, Hey, y'all, if you would give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. You know, we'd love to have more friends coming. And if you're lurking, you're not chatting with us, please speak up and just say hi. You don't have to keep chatting the whole time, but I'd like to know that you're here and be able to give you a quick shout out. You know, Morgan, here's what I'll tell you to do is get you some index cards or some notebook paper that have straight lines, and then go to your sewing machine and practice stitching on those lines, and take your time. You don't have to go super fast. My machine, I can change the speed. I don't have to go super, super duper fast. Some of the older machines, you don't have that option. It's all about how far you push the presser foot down, the speed pedal down. So just kind of click on that. Hey, Linda's here. Hey, Deborah. All right, so I got that piece made, and that's just that easy. So now what I can do is I've got maybe this skinny card that I can glue this down on a page. Let's grab here's a coffee dyed piece of paper, and we would put journal, and then we'd have that piece right there, and there's a little pocket real quick. Isn't that kind of easy? You like that? Yeah, just sew on some index card. And then you'll have samples. And you can also even write on that index card, this was this setting on your machine. This was this setting on your machine. That way you know when you're wanting to sew, if you have a desire to have a certain kind of stitch pattern, you can do it. All right, what else have we got here? So I found in my stash, this is book pages. I stamped on the book page. I believe I sprayed it with some Tattered Angels, probably walnut gold. And the stamp was the 1912 stamp from Beeline Designs. I do offer still both Beeline Designs and by Linda Israel. I'm not going to stop selling Beeline Designs for as long as she will sell them to me. Hello, Virginia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then it's a napkin that's been placed on top. Now I have several tutorials that show you how to glue a napkin to paper, book page, whatnot. So we're not going to go through that today. Today's all about using these pieces that we found that are left over. So I've got a couple of these pieces. I'm just going to pick one. And it might be cut straight. I don't know. It's just under 5 inches. It looks like I haven't added any distress inks. It's probably where I cut off a portion to make something out of it. And this was the leftover piece. So I'm just going to add some distress inks on there. And then let's dig around in my bits here and see what we could put on top. I did see a moment ago that I had this ticket shape. And it does cover up most of that napkin. You know, maybe that's what we want anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and contemplate this. And usually when I am contemplating, I add some distress inks and I'll think about what do I want to put in the middle of that. We just used from the Journal Quartet. So let's change out. Let's see what I've got here. Maybe one of... oh, here we go. This is Bonkers. This is from my Alice in Wonderland collection. And I'm going to stamp this on here. We may not use it. I'm just going to stamp it and see what it looks like. Put my distress inks back. Get it out of the way. All right, let's put that right about, in the middle. You're entirely bonkers, but I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are. Uh-oh, go wash your hands with some Dawn. So what if we were to put that right in the middle? Just keeping it simple. I think, you know what? Let's go back to the sewing machine again. I kind of like doing that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right in the middle just to help hold it in place. And we're going to go back to the sewing machine. I know you're all going to be like, what? Again? Yes, again. We're going to take that and go to the sewing machine. gotcha. You turn those types of pieces into multi-tier pockets after cutting semicircle notch in the top centers. That's a good idea, Sophia. Oh, thank you, Morgan, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love the bunkers. Isn't it cool? All right, let's go around this one. I think that adding the stitches, I don't know, just kind of gives it a whole nother element of design. So there's that piece. Sewing cam. All right, let's move that over here. So, if you put that on there and you're like, well, I could have made that have a little bit more pink in there. I'm going to grab a paintbrush. And I've got some Tattered Angels. This one's from the Enchanted Rose. And I could have done this before I sewed it, but I'm just going to come in here and just add a little bit of a watercolor look behind there. You see that? Just add some color. So, Tattered Angels. And it kind of looks brown, but it's actually pink. Okay? It adds depth and texture. So again, I've got this piece that if I find a journal card in my stash, I could plop that right behind there. Again, gluing it down on my page, and now I've got a little pocket element. And I'm just stuffing these in my little basket over here. Monday, when I am live again, I will be using from this basket all these little elements to make some junk journal pages, and then we'll put together a journal. All right, so what else I found on my desk is this was from Norella's, I think it's botanical set. I think if you do botanical on her Etsy, you'll be able to find it. There you go. He gave you a bunch, didn't he? We had a good amount of people joined. And I printed this as it's normally a full sheet like this, but it's 8.5 by 11. And I told my printer to print this big sheet as a 5 by 7. And then I'm able to cut that in half and we can make this into a journal card. Well, I found this piece of cardstock. It looks like it's a watercolor paper. And when you put it on there, it's kind of boring, isn't it? It's kind of blah. So we need to do something about that. So how about, let's put this in my spray box. Let's put my bonkers stamp up. That's the one thing that I have to keep remembering to do is put the stamps away. So I'm going to lay this in my spray box. And while I'm at it, I've got another journal card here, so I'm going to lay that over here. And I just saw it. Let's do... This is from the June Stencil Club. So June Artistic Stencil Club. It's this one right here we're getting ready to use. You get 4 stencil designs between 3 sheets. So that's a full sheet, and then these 2 combined are a full sheet. So there is that stencil pattern. And then there is what I call bullseye. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. He left you out, Janice. You didn't wear your Dawn dish soap on your hands. So I'm going to lay this in here. And so the lilies are yellow. And of course the roses are sort of pink. So let's grab 2 different colors of Tattered Angels. I've got a yellow. This is golden, or I call it yellow. It's golden orange. So I'm going to spray. And I've just got a standard sheet of my linen paper in the bottom. I'm going to rotate this round, and we're going to spray going the other way. Then I'm going to grab another sheet of paper. And let's mop this up. I have a bunch of mop-up papers that I have created. So I plan to use them. Okay, I want yellow over here to make my journal pages on Monday. Because remember, when you fold it in half, you're only going to see one side. Right now, it won't come back in stock unless I get about 5 to 10 people who want that set. So if that's something that you missed out on and you want a set of that, do let me know. I don't order again my Tattered Angels because this is June. So it won't be until I order the end of July for the next kit when I reorder my Tattered Angels supplies, because I have to pay a lot of shipping and I have to have a minimum order with them, so I don't order onesie twosies from them. If you're interested in that, I'll see how much they would charge me to do a small batch, because they have to custom make the colors. Yeah, you had to order them quick. Yeah, if you have a question, put it in all caps so I'll see it. So when I look up. All right, so I'm just drawing that. And then this side, oh, my stencil had some other color on it. So we got some variations. Isn't that kind of cool? So this is mopping up on that stencil. I'll just set that aside. Set the stencil aside. And then here are my journal cards that we made in the backgrounds. And then I made another journal page here. Isn't that kind of cool? I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and spritz the back side. All right, let me look at it. That side was pink, so I want this side pink. And this side yellow. And I'll just set this side to dry for now. Why? So I'll have it later. I don't know. I like to have it ready. All right, so we've got these two pieces, and I kind of like how the green bled through. And let's see what happens when we put those guys on top of our cards. I know we covered up most of the pattern, but it just makes me feel good that it's there. Yeah, Angelica's not here. Does the stencil stay okay with the heat tool? Okay, when I know y'all watch me use my heat tool, I do not get it very close and I do not hold it one pace for very long because it will melt your stencil. So don't stick with it for very long. Yes, the stencil are rated because I use a laser, but that's just a very fine point that it's cutting. It's not like holding my heat tool, which will cause it to warp. So just do it quickly or take it apart. All right, so we got those two pieces. You know, I think we're going to go to the sewing camp. I know you're going to be sick of this. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these in the center. And we're going to go to the sewing machine in just a moment. So I'm going to glue that down. And glue this one down. And I'll see if I've got another little something. Do I want to glue it down now? I have a scrap of coffee dyed paper laying here. And then I have Remember Be Who You Are. And I think I can get 2 out of that. So we're going to stamp it. Now I'm looking at it. I think I can go ahead and get away with cutting it. Just kind of cut it straight. And maybe I will rip the top and the bottom. I wanted to see before I go to the sewing machine if I wanted to sew that on top. I think what I'll do is we will sew that outside edge of our image. And I should have put that on the dark side, but it's all right. It could be a big tuck spot. I'm just adding a little bit more distress inks Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stitch around that outside edge, and then we'll put these on top, okay? Sewing Cam! I see Glitter Boss. I just see people won. I don't know if FAA... The junk dream type... Yeah, it is open because people are joining it. It's going through. All right, let's go over here and sew. I'm going to start up here. I've also added a new line of Faith rubber stamps to my shop. I'm adding more. I've just got to spend the time to design them. If there's a Bible verse or quote or saying or sentiment that you really like, definitely use the contact me form on my website and send me a message. You can speak up now in the chat and Robin will snag that if she sees it and her computer doesn't crash before she gets the note saved. And it's no obligation. You don't need to buy the stamp if I make it. I'm just going to add it to the shop and it'll be there if and when you're ready to buy. It's what I like about the laser is, yes, technically it does cost more per stamp, but I'm not out as much money if it had been a bulk order, or if I had to order the pressing plates to have it pressed, because that can be a minimum of like $250 per stamp plate. So this way I'm not having to spend that much. All righty. Hello, Margie. Hello, hello. Hey, Margie shared in the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. I think I have one laying here. She shared how to take the tiny library card and make a library pocket. I'm going to show a different technique here in a moment. So thank you, Margie, for sharing that. If you haven't joined the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, please do so. We'd love to have you. All right, so we got that piece. And I think I'll go ahead and just add some distress inks. And I'm throwing away the scraps. I have too many scraps. You rarely win. Oh, but see, there you were complaining about it, and you won. All right, so let's put remember, be who you are. I think right there. Let's kind of do it in this corner. I don't normally do a lot of 3D embellishments on my things because it really bulks up in the journal, and I like to have a flat surface when I'm writing in my journal. I'm just going to do the same thing. But today, I'm going to turn around here and grab some flowers, some paper flowers. So let's see. I spy with my little eye some little flowers. Here we go. So I've got these little flowers. I have a little pearl on them. I recycled some Prima jars because those are not Prima flowers. I like that. I'm just going to glue these down right here in the corner. Yes, my scrap box is overflowing again. Yes, Safina. It's always overflowing. It is always overflowing. Well, see, here's another. I've already cleaned this one up. So, see, this is a big basket that has 4 little tubs in it. Like, these are cards already, but this is a whole bunch of scraps and miscellaneous pieces. Like, there's a base that could be used for a journal card. And so what I've been doing is just kind of grabbing things and poking them into a little basket over here, trying to sort them as I go. All right, so there's 2 journal cards that we made. Well, you know what? When I make a journal card this big, sometimes I need a better tuck spot. I need a way to hold this in the journal. And sometimes these pockets that you make, like this is one I made earlier, may or may not be big enough. This one happens to be big enough. But let's say we didn't have one big enough. We needed a bigger way to put something down in the journal. And I happen to have these 2 pieces of scrapbook paper here. And I have that piece of scrapbook paper. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe let's look at my, oh, I have some wallpaper here. Look at that. What if we were to do a little layered belly band? Do I want that on top of the wallpaper? Oh, thank you, Tanya, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, at the end, I will be giving away a mini journal. So I've got a few here. And, you know, those of you that are donating, if we get, oh, let's say if we get $25 in donations. Oh, well, Margie just did it. We're going to give away at least 3 of these journals, if not more, at the end. All right, so here's some of my small journals. Thank you, Margie. And that's going to be a free-for-all, okay? Meaning anybody and everybody can enter, but if we don't have enough money, then it seems kind of silly. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I believe this is a straight edge. My journals are typically 8.5 inches tall, so I'm going to cut a strip at 8.5 inches. And while I have this out, I'm looking, and that's 5, almost 5.5, but I'm going to trim it to 5.25. This edge is kind of wavy, so I'm going to cut it straight. I'm kind of doing a 2-for-1 here. All right, so this piece is approximately almost 4.5 inches. So if we do 2, not quite 2.25. See, that can be a pocket that I can tuck stuff in. So I'm just going to set that over here. All right, so here, I've got these 1-inch strips. If I do a 1.5-inch strip, you'll see more of the wallpaper. Is that what I want to do? Hey, Robin. Hey, Winter. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep, and stitching down it. I'm going to stitch down it. All right, I think that's what I want to do is about 1 inch, 2 inches. Okay, we're going to do 2 inches. So I'm just going to cut this if I can get my paper to stay straight. And let's cut one more. So that way, even though I'm not going to make both of them live today, I'll have the pieces already cut so I can do it later. All right, so I got these 2 pieces. I'll go ahead and cut these to be 8.5 inches in length. So wallpaper sample books. If you didn't know, sometimes you can go to a store that sells wallpaper, especially wallpaper stores, and ask for their discontinued wallpaper sample books. And many times they are willing to give them away for free. And there may be some occasions that you have to pay for them. So I did have a little strip left. I'm just going to stick it in my bin. And it'll be over there for whenever I'm ready to use it. Okay. I'm just going to set these aside. So I've got this one. So let's add some distress inks around the edges. And I may even add either some fabric or some lace. I'm going to think about this for a second. You're getting closer. Robin's trying to get to 2,000 junk bucks. What is it that you want, Robin? What is it that you want? Yeah, they add up quick when you play the games and when you make donations. All right, so if we put this here, I saw some lace here a moment ago. What if And I have plenty of it, so I could put it right down the middle. It kind of loses it, but at the same time, I see the pattern and it mutes that green just a little bit. Can y'all see that? What I'm thinking of doing is stitching this seam binding down the edges, and then I'll place it over here and we'll stitch around the outside edge. Okay, does that make sense? So let's go over to the sewing machine. Yay! Let's go to the sewing machine. Hey, Patty! And we're going to stitch down the edge here and here. Okay? You have to wait till next month to waste your water damaged cell phone. Sucks when that happens. All right, so I'm just going to hold it in place and then start stitching. I'm doing a zigzag stitch. I got serious and was concentrating while I was sewing. All right, so I've stitched down one side. I'll go ahead now and trim it off. Save this to use with the other one later. And I'm going to flip it around and then just stitch down the other side. I can go a little faster because it's stitched on the other side, so it's not moving on me as much. All right, so now I'm going to grab this piece, and we're going to stitch across the ends this way and then down the sides. Stitching, we are stitching away. Right on down the page. All right, so we'll go across. Trying to get it flat. I don't want it to bow on me. All right. So we just put some stitches on there. Thank you, Debbie, for your donation and your support and being here and being a part of my admin team at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. All right, so, oh, I got wrinkled. Here's how I would glue that down. I'd glue it at the top and the bottom, and then my journal card can go here. And that's why I don't like embellishments. They hang up. Or they can go here, okay? But let's add something else on here, because that's kind of plain Jane. So I was looking, let's see here. Where's all my bits? So this is just random pieces that were left over from kits. Oh, and I like this butterfly. That would be kind of pretty. Right in the center there. Oh, and I never do this, but just for y'all, I'll even put a doily down. How's that sound? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this to the doily. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that yet. I want to put some color on the doily. that out. Let me see what I've got back here. Okay, that's just plain paper. So I'm going to put it kind of up in the corner like that. This was kind of green and pink. So maybe let's just go crazy. Let's use some, maybe a purple? Why not? It's just real light. I did from the fully purple. I'm just going to hit that with a heat tool real fast. A doily? All right, so it's kind of still white underneath, so I'm looking for, I've got walnut gold here, so I'm going to spritz that. Uh-oh. If your sprayer doesn't spray, oh, my alcohol's in the room, doesn't spray right off the bat, take some water or some rubbing alcohol and clean the nozzle here, because sometimes it's just crusty, and that's what it needs, is to be cleaned up a little bit. Let's see if that worked. All right, that didn't work. So next I'm going to take a pen and stick it in the hole. Oh, see, it shot out spray on me. It just had a little bit of a clog. But if that doesn't work either, then you can take apart the sprayer unit. Let me show you what I mean. I don't think I have one dry. I did have one. I must have used them all. Well, anyhow, you can take apart the nozzle. This piece comes off and the tube comes out, and soak it in hot water. Not super hot, more lukewarm to hot, because you'll melt the plastic. And that usually will clean it up. But if that still doesn't work, now I offer a replacement set. I have sets of 4 sprayers that you can get in my shop now. Sometimes you're crusty, Deborah. Smelling salts work better than chocolate. Stepping out of your normal. Well, yeah, I don't always use doilies. I know. Not normal for me. Okay, I like that because it's got that gold on it. And let's add some Distress inks around the edges. How are we doing on time? I'm probably going to go about an hour. I have one more idea that I want to share with y'all. All right, so we've used the stencil today. We've used some rubber stamps. I'm going to glue this in the center of that purple doily. So I'm just going to add little dots. And then glue that down. And I know it's going to seep through that doily, so I want to make sure that there's not any extra here. And I should have glued this down before I installed the sewing on here. So what I'm going to do is take my pencil and mark here and here. Okay. And we're going to put a little bit of glue, basically where the stronger cardstock is. And I gauged off of the fact that this would be centered. So I think I want to go dead center. And just in case, I'll open it up and stick my finger inside. Make sure that I got it pretty straight on there. Okay? Uh-oh. You had a bee in your bedroom this morning? Uh-oh. Trying to fight off a mosquito? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm supposed to have our yard sprayed. I need to remind them. They said they were going to put us on the monthly spray, but I don't know that they've been out yet. Okay, I like that. You like it? So now let's say we've got, I got this really large journal card. And so it could go there. Let's put our page back down. So you could have that kind of a look. And you could put it behind. So you get that pretty pattern, and we could get a smaller journal card to stick in there. Okay. Can't go out the door unless... Did they take a little long? All right, let's put that back over here. All right, so now I've got a piece of fabric. And right off the bat, I know I want to make it smaller because it's 6 inches. So I want to come to about the 5 1/4 inch mark. So I'm just going to cut off a piece of that. And I'm going to look in my gel print mess. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, what about this one? Look at that pretty purple gel print. I like it. Now let's cut that to fit. So if I had 5 1/4, this is, I think if I do this at 5 inches, I'm kind of looking at it to see which one I want. So if I put that in the middle, I think I'm going to come this one just a little bit shorter because this must be less than 5 1/4 because I must not have got it very straight. So we're going to do 4 3/4. That should give me a little bit of a border. Yeah, it does, all the way around. I'm going to go ahead, just so I have it, and trim this one to 4 3/4. And I saved the little piece, but I'm going to set these together because I'm going to make 2, but today I'm just going to make 1. So I'm going to get my spray box back out. So here's our new mixed media. I'm going to go ahead and trim this one to be the same size. And I'm going to lay this in my spray box. Like so. And let's get a blue. I have a really pretty blue here. I think I've got sapphire blue if I can find it. I just had it out. Yeah, sapphire blue. All right, so we're just going to spray pretty much on the edges. And it's canvas fabric scraps. I'm going to use my heat tool and dry at least one of them. And then I'll let the other one just air dry. I'll mess with it later. Ooh! All right, bye, Rhonda. See you later. Have a good day at work. All right, so I'm just drying this fabric a little bit. I'm going to set this piece aside. And look what I did now. I've added the doily here. I've added these areas over there. I've got another page in the works that we can use for our journal later. You can also line your box with book pages. It would be a great thing to do. All right, so I've got this piece now. I'm going to grab my Distress inks and really kind of rub this edge. It kind of just distresses it up, makes it look older. And I don't have to coffee dye it. Now, if you love to coffee dye, you love to tea dye, then you could do that. And you can still spray it with Tattered Angels. It's just going to give it a deeper vintage color when you do that. Set this over here. So I'm just going to take one of these pieces and go around the edge. Okay, I like that. I'm going to grab a scrap of paper. And I want to cut a piece that's going to go on the back. So I'm going to go, I think it's 2 3/4. Let's go 2.5. And let's go 5 inches. I'm cutting that because I find that when I go to the sewing machine and when I make these pockets, they have a tendency to be too flimsy. So that's why I'm putting a little piece of paper on the back, just scrap paper. It's just enough to kind of give it some stability on the back side. All right, so I think we're going to sew this in place. So sewing lamb, I know this is a highly heavy, saturated with sewing today. There is a coffee dye Tattered Angels. It's called Coffee Shop. There's also, I like the lighter shades. So Craft is a pretty color. Walnut Stain is a pretty color. That's what I used earlier, was Walnut Stain. And I have Old Penny as a dark, rich coffee, I guess you could call that. I can't remember if I added Tattered Leather. I don't see all my browns. That's Woven Burlap. Here is Cork. Oh, thank you, Lori, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else do I have here? Walnut Gold, of course. I have all these colors. Oh, my others are up there. So that kind of gives you an idea, I think, of some of the colors. Depends how dark you like it. Yeah, it's super dark. The Old Penny is very dark. Has kind of a coppery look to it. Like Penny. Get back in there. All right, so we're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch around this outside edge. All right, here we go. Sewing cam. Y'all are getting the full treatment today. Just going to stitch around. Ah, come on. All right, it's caught, and so it made a little knot there. So we're going to have messy stitches. All right. All right, so now we have a base for a pocket. So, Robin's going to go refresh her cup. You love sewing and love the multi-use. Ah, thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. All right, so I'm just going to pull some of these loose fibers. That'll kind of give us a little more distressed look there. All right, so we got this far. But wait, we need to add something else. So let's look here. I kind of like this. This is a little envelope that I made using a square. Have y'all seen me do this a few times? Do I need to show you how today? If so, speak now or forever hold your peace. As I look for a scrap of paper to cut into a square. Oh, here we go. Already, I think this one's already kind of square-ish. So I'm just going to measure it and make it square. So this way is 3 1/4 or 3 3/4. There we go. So to make this little envelope, start with a square. I know this is hard. Yes, okay, I'll show you, Deborah. All right, so a square, and what I like to do is fold it in half diagonally and barely pinch it. and use my distress ink like that. Okay, so I got a little mark. And the reason I did that is so I could take this side piece and I'm going to go past the mark just a tad and then crease that. Then I'm going to come across from the other side and go past that mark. So these are overlapping just a tad. You want to be equal when you do it. And you can kind of gauge your work, maybe if you didn't get it straight enough. That should be straighter. And this one is not very straight, so I'm going to line it back up. Okay, so now we got that part. All right, so now we're going to take this piece and fold up like so. Do you see the envelope now? And I'll just add some distress inks on these edges. And that was a gel print that I used. And I may use the bigger one. Maybe I'll use both. We'll do a dual collage there. So what I do next is I'll add a drop of glue here. Put that down. And then I'll put a little bit of glue on this edge, but don't come up all the way because you're going to have that peak. Just a little bit of glue over there. Kind of smearing it with my finger. It was a little thick. And then I'm going to fold this up and glue that into place. My finger off. And then I'll put my finger down inside and make sure that I didn't accidentally glue it shut. And you can't see that mark unless you open up the little envelope. So this is an alternative to some of the tutorials where people actually crease it and then you have that crease running down there. And this gives you a nice clear piece. I don't know if y'all can see the green. I think that was from using one of my circle stencils in there. Okay. All right. So we got this piece. And we got that piece. I think we need a little decoration in the inside there. So I'm going to grab my dragonfly stamp. And we're going to stamp that. Oh, let's kind of do it at an angle a little bit. So we add a little dragonfly. And on this one, I don't think I cut the bee stamp for myself. I'm looking. Nope, I don't have the little bee stamp. Oh, but I do have the button. This is a little button flower. And it might go past. So let's see. Oh no, it should fit right in there. It's a little button flower. All right, so now I've got this piece and this piece that we can put on here. I think we need a sentiment, don't you think? So I'm grabbing one of my strips of paper from my bin, and let's grab a rubber stamp. How about live your best life? Let's do that one. So we're going to put that in the center. This is another stamp in my shop. And we're going to stamp it right over here. Like so. All right. Live your best life is on there. And I'll just trim it. And let's add some distress inks. All right, well, we can put that down there, but I think it needs something else behind it. So how about, do I want a piece of fabric? I've got this pink piece. I think it's too big, maybe too wide. I may have to trim it. Live your best life in that pink. What if we did a narrow strip of that pink? Do we like the pink? I've got this blue, but I think that pink stands out better. All right, let's do the pink. So I'm going to cut this. Where's my fabric scissors? About like that. And I think I'll see if I can't cut this exactly in half. Because then I'll have this piece left that I can use on my other pocket. Yeah, I like that. Kind of gives it a whole nother dimension. All right, so let's put that there and this there. So I'll put a little bit of glue down the middle. I like it. I like it. Just making it cute, you know. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this envelope onto this envelope on this edge. So just kind of making a little corner area. And again, these are gel prints that I made. So I'm just going to line this up right about there. And I'm pressing them together to kind of get that glue to marry. When I'm doing gel print, sometimes that paint won't allow things to stick. So you kind of have to give it a little help. All right. So let's put this piece down here. I'll come in just a little bit. And I'm going to glue on this side and this side of the envelope, which will give us a secondary little tuck spot. So we'll glue that. I'm coming in just a little bit, right about there. I'll go ahead and lay my block on there for just a second, and I'll put my stamp up. All right, while we're waiting on that, I'll show you the tiny library card. I know I already stamped some, but I have misplaced them already. Oh, here's one. Okay. But I'm going to stamp one just so you can see. I'm trying to find a piece of paper that doesn't have something printed on the other side. Here we go. I should be able to stamp that right in here. This is where a line printed, but I didn't need all of it. So I'm just going to ink this up with my archival ink and stamp it. Again, remember to hold it in place. Don't rock the stamp back and forth. And then you'll get a good impression. And so then I fussy cut it out. And that's going to go right there. And then I've got Live Your Best Life will go on top. So I'm just putting little dots of glue on the back side of my fabric, and then we'll glue this into place. And I decided I need a little more embellishment there, so I'm going to stamp this little flower coming off the top. Ha! All right, so I don't have anything in this pocket, so let's look to see if I have, oh, I have these. It's a little wider. Is this one too big? That one's too big, but it could go behind. Oh, I like that. Let's see. Well, this is completely contrasting as far as design is concerned, but it has a dragonfly on it. It says no regrets. And what if we stick that down in there? So that gives us a different texturized look. And if we put that on our page like that, then we've got the tuck spot here. And let's grab a journal card. Here's a tall journal card we could put behind. Could you get the black and the black? Here's a postcard that could go behind that. So you see how we could just glue and add some more stuff? Yeah, I loved your little pocket. It was super cute. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. You like that? So that's just another idea for you. All right, where are we? We're at 135. So, what else can I show you? I've shown you some tattered angels. I've shown you some pockets of different styles, and I've just been putting them back in here so I didn't take pictures of them. I've shown you some rubber stamping. I also have the tiny postcard rubber stamp. Have y'all seen this tiny postcard? Where is it? Oh, and I have the faux postage. So this is the Dragonfly faux postage. I'm going to be making more faux postage. So if there's an element that you would like to see in a faux postage, let me know. I didn't realize that I forgot to reverse that when I... What do you want to see, people? You're really liking the multi-pocket option in this page? You like that? Yeah, it does. It gives it some texture and some things that you want to pull out and look at. Here's the mini postcard. So again, I got a scrap of paper here, leftover bit. We'll just stamp that right in here. Okay. Koi fish, Sally? You'd like to see a koi fish in the faux postage. Koi fish. Tell me, yeah, I've seen the ones that kind of have them swirling and you can see they're orange. It's not really orange, but it's a dark spot on the back. I'll have to see what I can find image-wise. That's a good one. Robin, write that down. Can I show my tattered angel storage? Okay. Let me put my face zoom. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of get my camera here, only because I can move it. So for the most part, my tattered angels, I have a shelf back here. I made this shelf many years ago to store rubber stamps on. But since I'm currently selling stamps, I only show and use what I sell. So I've moved all my wood-mounted stamps out of the room. And just so happens, my tattered angels fit up there. And then I have this little storage unit. This has what I call my neutral darks and my like dazzling diamonds and gold. Over there is kind of by color, like the top shelf has reds and pinks. The next shelf has purple and blues. The third shelf has a blue coming into green. And then here recently, I started doing Ziploc baggies where I put most of the kit colors that I have left over. I'm trying to use them up a little bit. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how empty is this bottle? You know, how much is in there? Is there two bottles that have that amount in there? Can I combine them together? This case, I just put all the greens in my bin here. So we'll just come back over here. This is my, I don't know why I did that, bin. And I'll just hold everything in there. I just realized that the notifications for the donations isn't showing. So that's how I store my tattered angels. Alrighty. Anything else y'all want to see? Roses or butterfly faux postage are always a hit. Yep. Do other ways to bind a one signature journal. So you would like to see a tutorial, other ways to bind a one signature journal. So different than when I do the pamphlet stitch. I just do it because it's so easy. You're very welcome, Sally. I just want to make sure that's what you're asking, Lori. Are you bored with that style of binding? You can always sew it on your sewing machine. Start the free raffle. All right, let's Oh, I forgot to do this raffle. Oh my gosh. Here, y'all get some junk bucks real fast. I thought I started it. I got busy and didn't even do it. So y'all weren't even going to win your 200 junk bucks for being here. Let's do that. All right, let's pick a winner. Let me give y'all a minute to get in. Mop-up page made into ephemera. Okay, Janice, let's do that. Let's, I spy some mop-up papers earlier. Mop-up papers, mop-up papers, mop-up papers, yes. Mop-up papers, mop-up papers, mop-up papers, yes. Ooh, how about this? Because Robin loves green. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I have a page here that we could use. Let's do something out of this. So, all right, here's one that I like to do. Half, which will be 5.5 inches. I got an idea that we're going to try. That over here. All right, so I have this long skinny piece. I'm going to flip it over. So this is going to be my inside of my envelope. You don't like the neon? All right, so I'm going to look at my corner here and just come down about an inch and kind of line that up. I'm going to do the same over here, kind of line it up. There's my corners. Come down. Of course, I'm not over the top of it like you guys are, so you can see better if it's straight, okay? Then I'm going to fold this down just a smidge. I usually want to go about between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch. You can go deeper if that's the look you like, okay? So I'm just going to find a spot here. See if I can get it cut or folded straight. All right. And I'm just finger creasing it right now. I'll get my bone folder in a moment. And then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to go up. But I want to go far enough up that it's past this little fold right here. So I'm just coming up a little bit and then we'll crease that. And now I'm going to go around the outside edge with Distress Inks. And I'll open this up. Okay, and let's do this edge. Let's do this edge, and let's do this edge. Okay, now if you want, you can go ahead and do the inside edge as well. So now we've added some distressing. I'm going to grab my bone folder and then just really crease that together. All right, so now we've got this little element. Let's make a faux postage to put on there. And this time I can use a scrap that has writing on the back. And let's stamp the dragonfly postage, because that's what I have made up right now. Just going to stamp it. And let's grab some Tattered Angels. I think I like, this is Royal Peacock, and I've got Fully Purple. Oh, I squished it. I squished the stamp. All right, but that's fine. We'll work with it. All right, we're going to trim it out. Just a little bit. All right, is everybody in the raffle? Are y'all in the raffle? Yeah, you need an exclamation point, Kelly, to get in on the boss fight. Of course, I think you just missed it, but yeah, it's okay, Kelly. I do too. All right, so we got that. I'm going to add some Distress Inks on the edges. All right, we're going to do this free raffle right now. Let me get my paintbrush ready. And I think what I want to do, sometimes I'll test my Tattered Angels to see if I like the color. So if I put it on here, that might be a little dark. So I'm going to use that for my wings. So I'm just going to come in here and just paint. And then I'll kind of come down the center of the body like that. And I'll clean my brush out. I do have a bubble. Oh yeah, Bumblebee postage stamp. Yes, Range. Okay, yeah. I see it now. No, so a Bumblebee postage stamp, a butterfly postage stamp. We have a dragonfly. We're gonna do a koi, and what was the other? Roses. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Thank you so much, Robin. Okay, let's do the raffle. Hello, what did you miss? Everything, Julie. You got to watch the replay. All right, get in on the raffle for 200 junk bucks, Julie. I'll give you just a second while I get a drink. I'm going to go ahead and grab my paintbrush again. And we're going to put it in the Royal Peacock. I do have extra bottles of the Royal Peacock Tattered Angels in my shop. So if you didn't get that subscription box when it came out and you would like this color, you can order just the Tattered Angels now. I have a few left. This was one that I loved the color so much that I ordered extras. All right, so we just colored that. All right, we're going to do the raffle now. Julie, did you get in? I don't see Julie in the raffle. Get in the raffle, man. Uh-oh, what's Morgan responsible for? Oh, dear. I understand, Julie, if you did have to go to work. Julie, type raffle again. No space. She's probably typing fast because she's got to get ready to go to work. You love adding the color to the stamp? So that's going to go right there. The lag must be big, Morgan. Raffle. Come on, Lori. Come on, Julie. Julie had to go to work. All right. She got in finally. All of that. You better win, right? Pick a winner. Julie Parker! Oh, that's hilarious. You won 200 junk bucks, Julie. You did. All right, you get 200 junk bucks. Let's go here and let's go ahead and do mini journal raffle. So I'm going to start a mini journal raffle. Everybody is eligible to get in on this raffle. Y'all type !raffle. I've gone longer than I had said I would, and Robin's probably getting mad at me. So we're going to get off here by 2 o'clock. So another 11 minutes. We're going to work on this. So I made the little faux postage. I stuck that down. I tend to use this one a lot. I am looking at making what I would call a script address book with a really funky frilly font. Is that something y'all are interested in? Is just a stamp that has some random address on it? And if you want, I could probably be persuaded to use the same font for your own address if you want to make little collages like this and have the address show up, but it's really not that legible. It's there, but you're not quite sure what it says. Okay? So I did that, and that was with the postmark collage. Must be Julie, yeah. Be the last one to enter. It must have been. And let's get, I don't know why I love this one, but this is the wildflower. Sketched wildflowers. So we're going to stamp that. Let's stamp it over here on this edge. Like that. It's just kind of adding a little bit to it. So for the back, we want to do something to close it, I think. So let's see what I have in. I have something. These are birds. Trying to make it kind of an eclectic look. I think these are too big. So let's see what's in. What do we got in here that we could use? I have a little fairy. She looks risque. I didn't realize I had this little basket of goodies. I've got so many things. Oh, here's some numbers. Let's do that. I saw numbers. How about number 78? I need to put those with the words. I've got a baggie of words over here, and now I've got the baggie of numbers. All right, so what if we put number 78? But we need something up here. I've got this little border stamp. I'm getting my long skinny. And I like to rotate it around so I can see it. So I'm rotating this around. And we're going to ink this up and stamp it across here. Oops. Numbers! Hello, Angelica! We are altering a mop-up page into some ephemera by turning it into an envelope. How's that with that little as I drop things in the floor? It's an avalanche. All right, put the stamp back, Linda. And then we're going to put this number on the back here. Let me add some distress inks to it. And glue that into place. They're filming an episode at your house? Numbers? Who did you murder? Have you seen the actor that used to be on the TV show Numbers? He has gotten to be a big guy. Don't forget to breathe. You're now going with creative clutter, Barb. Hoarders video trying to figure out if you have a problem or not. Don't watch them. Don't watch the Hoarders videos. We are collectors. All right. How is that, Janice? I made ephemera. So this will open up and you can write inside here. If you want to decorate the inside, you can. I'm leaving it. So you have plenty of writing space. So that was making ephemera. So let's make a little booklet. So I'm folding it in half. So I know it's 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Do we want to make it that in half? Yeah, I'm gonna cut it in half. Cut it in half. So it's 5.5 inches. So I need to cut it at 2 3/4. I'm going to cheat because see, math, I don't remember. So that's why I do it. Yeah, I was right. 2 3/4. I don't know why I doubt myself. Now let's cut that. All right, so now I've got these two pieces that I've just made. Well, let's make a booklet. So I'm going to look over here. I've got some cardstock. Oh, I've got this blue. What if, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to make it where it's glued on top and we trim it just a little bit smaller. And then it's kind of like a little notepad and we decorate the top. I do have this little piece. I think I like that better. I have a piece of chipboard here. So I'm thinking of using that because it was left over from another, when I take the notepads apart. I kind of like that, don't you? Selling a fog? If I'm enabling, I am not enabling your hoarding. I'm using it up. We're using the pieces that we have here. All right, so this was a chipboard backer to a notepad. And I'm just adding some distress inks to the edge. I think I want to alter this background color just a little bit. How about we do purple? So I've got Dusty Concord, and I'm just going to come in and blend off that edge. So it adds a little bit of color to that chipboard. Okay. World's fastest blender. I move pretty quick, don't I? A fog or a dog? All right. I think we need something around the outside edge again. Oh, I know what I can use. I have a new floral border stamp that I made. All right, so I'm going to stamp this. Come back here, ink pad. All right, we got about 2 minutes. Y'all in on the raffle? So I'm going to stamp it across the top and the bottom and down the sides. And look how that changes. Isn't that cool? I think what I want to do now is I'm going to stack these together. I'm looking at this. I think what I want to do is just stitch this right across the top here. I was going to attach another piece of paper, but I think just stitching across the top would be kind of cool. Oh, I can do this. I got this little strip. What if I stitched just a little scrap of this fabric across the top here? All right, so we're going to go to the sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch right across there. All right. Going to the sewing machine. I got a zigzag stitch. I'm going to go right over this edge. So we just stitched across there. All right, I'll go ahead and trim the fabric here. Oh, I caught it in the back. So now I have this little notepad. And I can come back in and stamp some words. Like, how about thoughts? This is from the Thoughts Cube. It's a little rubber stamp. Ah! So we'll just stamp that right here. Thoughts. How's that? We could even, oh, wait, there's more. I've got, this is from the Dainty Cube. So let's stamp that over here on this side. The little flowers. All right, y'all like that? It's 2 o'clock. Have you turned into a pumpkin yet, Robin? So what did we do today? We made an envelope out of a mop-up page. I made a belly band out of wallpaper and a doily and scrapbook paper and lace. We made a journal card where we stenciled the background. What else did I do? I just started stuffing things in my bin when I should have set them aside. Here's another journal card we made. Off camera, I made some pockets using fabric, and I made one today, but I made this today. So now I've got this little bin beside me here that I can grab a page, grab a pocket, grab a journal card, and start collaging and making these together. Let's see what else. Never won one of these. Oh! That's a good one, Debbie. You got 20 junk bucks. So this was one that I made earlier today. I found this photograph of an owl. Someone had given it to me, and I just trimmed it to fit onto a card so you could have the writing space on the background. And I used my Don't Forget to Fly rubber stamp, stitched around some of that lace again. I had some fabric that I put on there. Here's another pocket where I used a gel print in the background, and I made a secondary pocket. And then this is one of Norella's postcards that normally print like a 3.5 by 5 or 4 by 6s. And I told my printer to print the full sheet as an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and it reduces the size. Here's the little tiny library card. I'll put that back in here. This is using my journal stamp on top of Norella's printed labels. She has a set that's diary and journal, and I have a bunch of the blank labels, and I stamped on top of it. I have a whole bunch that say diary, and it seems that I don't use the word diary. Isn't that owl cool? Yeah, and yeah, owl napkins. Get the owl napkins and make some little journal cards. I need to do something with the diary. I haven't done that. So here's some more sayings from Norella. I had a scrap of paper that I put behind it, and I used some fabric behind that. Thank you, Robin. This is from back when I did some, I think it's a gelato mixed media day that I did, and I scanned the tags that I made because all of the things that I used, I was allowed to scan those in and print them, and I just reprinted it. So it looks 3D, but it is not. It is a copy. One of Norella's images. This is some really fancy textured paper that I happen to have still a little scrap left. So I was trying to use as much of this as I could. And then I had ripped some music fabric, and this was kind of like my starter strip. And I was kind of playing around with it, and it just so happens nice as a tag. On the inside, I kept it pretty simple. I just stamped So we used the magical stamp. I used a dragonfly number 3 or 4. I think it's number 3. This is my new flower bouquet in the corner. And this is the small diamond stencil. So I made that earlier today. Yeah, copy the tag. Now, you can do that only with rubber stamps that their angel policy allows you to photograph or copy your work. So if you stamped it, made it, then you can copy it. You can use Beeline design stamps as well as Linda Israel. Now, you can sell a physical item. You cannot sell a digital item. So you can't make a tag like that, scan it in, and sell the digital. You can sell the physical. Here's another page. This is one of my gel prints that I scanned in, and I used it as my foundation page. I made another fabric pocket like we did today, layering up and stitching. I used my swirly stamp in the background, and this is one of my mixed media pages that I made a long time ago. This is a strip of a gel print, one of Norella's images. Put that there. Here's a journal card I made today or yesterday. This was some scrapbook cardstock. One of Norella's images here, a piece of music, and a little scrap of lace. And then I found in my stash these little tags that I made. And just so happens that from the field notes cube, the figure number fits, and I just hand wrote number 1 beside it. And I thought that was kind of cute. And then this was some embossed paper that I had done a long time ago and some die cut elements, and I used my rubber stamp on top to get that. And I had this on regular standard cheap copy paper, and it was thin, so I glued it back to another one of Norella's pages, and then I stitched around the outside edge. Now this is one of Norella's digital downloads. And then over here I made a little collage. So this is one of the postcards. It's glued into place, but it has that free look to it. This is one of my little folded envelopes I showed y'all how to make. This was a scrap from a border. In fact, I've just found another piece of it that I cut apart in fabric in one of Norella's words that I reduced in size. This is my notes rubber stamp, and this is a little flourish below it. And I thought that was kind of cute in that pocket there. And then this was something I made a long time ago. It's one of Norella's images, and then it's just stamped with a flourish in the background. And I just put a little piece of fibers on here so we can just pop that in. And this is one of Norella's domino images, but I enlarged it. So here's where I went bigger and made this long, skinny journal card. And so that'll go right there. All right. So I just want to show y'all some ideas. Let's do the winner of the, oh yeah, and this is another thing that we made today, of the first giveaway of one of these, can't get my words out, mini journals. So I've got a red journal. We have a rose journal, pink rose. It says life is about making memories. Let's do the dream. So here's our choices. So we're going to pick a winner. And you're going to tell me which of these 3 little mini journals would you like to own while I get my rest of my stuff out. So be thinking about that. So be ready when I say, do you want life, dream, or remember? And then I'm going to make, dang it, I got to stop after this and go take care of Robin. But I'm going to make some journal pages this afternoon with all these new goodies that I made. All right, so y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this? I'm going to drink. Everybody is eligible. Everyone. I was going to say I wasn't going to give any very many away, and then Margie donated $30. So I'm going to give away 2 journals today. Just tell me which one you want. Everybody enter. It's a free-for-all. So enter the raffle. I'm cleaning my hands. I have all these new goodies that I've made that I'll be able to use now. Get in it, Julie. Janice is in it. Oh, these are really relatively simple journals. Most of the work was done on the cover. So this one is just a little collage. I think I did it during one of the live streams. The inside has been sewn. These are some text weight papers that I have an abundance of, like a few sheets. So I cut them all in half so that I could make some journals like this. So it's just kind of simple pattern paper sometimes. I'm trying to look here. I did do one mixed media pocket, it looks like, in this journal. So there's a pocket here and there's some writing space. And then it just repeats itself. So this one, we've got Dare to Dream. We've got Life is About Making Memories. Same concept. And then here's the center. It has pockets like that. And I didn't sign them. So I will do that. All right, let's do this one real fast. Yep. Okay, and then the red one, which is from the Radiant Red, has a variety of the same kind of pages. And then when you get to the center, I used a book page that I stamped the romantic swirl on top of and put it on some red paper. So, do you want to dare to dream? Life is about making memories. And remember, yeah, just simple. I kept it very simple because I figured you want this for writing space. I'm going to give away two. Tell me which one you want. If y'all are nice, I might do a second one. I'm killing Robin. Oh my gosh. Get in it. Just smaller stuff. I roll. Okay, whatever. I'm picking a winner now. The first winner, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you really, really want. Remember, if you win a prize, do make sure to go over to my website at lindaisrael.com. Create a user account. Input your mailing address. And then send me a message. Hey, I have two things. I won a prize. And or if you donated, so I can get you added to my YouTube donator membership. All right, the first winner, tell me what you want. Autumn. That's a new name, so congratulations, Autumn. Okay, we'll do three, Robin. Y'all are, Robin's pushing. So, Autumn, tell me which one you would like. And then number two, make sure that you use the contact me form at lindaisrael.com and tell me what your mailing address is. Hey, Connie. Waiting on Autumn. And as soon as she tells me which one she wants, we'll pick the next winner. I could sit here and make journal pages, I guess. Oh yeah, I need to do something with this one. All right, Autumn, if you don't answer really soon, I'm just going to pick the next person. What? Autumn. Takes forever with the wood stove thingy to cook. I like, see how that's going to look as a journal page. We'll put some decoration in there. Decorate the pages. Way to go, Autumn. Make another envelope. You like those envelopes, Lori? I'll be Autumn, Connie says. She may have had to leave. All right. Tap, 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 tap. Is this thing on? All right, I'm just going to pick another name. Okay. I'm just going to pick another name. Julie Parker! Congratulations! Now, tell me which one do you want? The post office closes at 5 p.m., Robin. We have time. Middle one. All right, so Robin, record that Julie wants life is about making memories. If Autumn comes back, I will send her a journal. All right, let's pick another winner. All right, so Julie is getting life is about making memories. Our next winner is Winter's Dream. Winter's Dream. Tell me which one you want. Do you want the Remember or Dare to Dream? Good choice, Julie. You're welcome. Winter's Dream. All right, so I am going to, while I'm waiting on Winter's Dream, I've got my new box dot stencil. I don't know what I called it. Dotted box. And let's do, I've got a blue here. Blueprint. Did she come up? Did she say yet? I'm looking. Not yet. We'll give her a second. Winter's Dream. Now your Winter's Dream for sure, Connie says. Ah, that's hilarious. All right. I took a sheet of paper, cut it in half. This was a mop-up page that I made a while back. Okay, so Rose spoke up. The Rose one goes to Autumn. Okay. And she wants the butterfly. Okay, perfect. Great choice. All right, giveaway. Yep, so Julie got the Life is About Making Memories. Then Winter's Dream. Make sure that you go over to my website, lindaisrael.com. You got the Dare to Dream with the butterflies. And then Morgan, no, Amber. Amber's her name, wasn't it? If she gets her address to me, then she'll get the red one. How's that? Okay? Wow, it's crazy in here, the chat glitter and stuff. Yes, that's a boss fight. The glitter dust. Congratulations to everybody. I greatly appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with me. I will be back Monday. We'll be making an eclectic journal. So I'll be using all of these bits. This is what I've been making, get them all put together. And I'll be using all those to make some journals on Monday. And we'll have some giveaways on Monday. I was a little out of sync today. Sorry, y'all. I was too busy showing you stuff. Now I gotta go take Robin to the post office. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to get off here. Like I said, we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, if there's something in this video that you really enjoyed, come back and leave me a comment down below and say what you liked or enjoyed about this tutorial. And if there's a tutorial you want to see in the future or me to show you something, definitely speak up in the content down below, the comments below, and tell me what you need. Or come over to my website, lindaisrael.com. Check out Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. All right, everybody. You're very welcome. You too, Tanya. Thank you, Lori. Fun to be back to lives on Thursdays. You're welcome, Lori. Bye-bye. Well, have a good day, Julie. Bevies, hey, thanks so much for being here. Hey, Angelica, bye. Enjoy your new place in Spain, España. All righty, y'all get out of here. Have an amazing day. Thank you, Sophia, for being here. Hugs to you. Bye, everybody.